one went to.
I have a question. It says final presentation notes. Are supposed to be pretty notes?
This would be extra credit if you did. So you're gonna hand it in today.
I'm going to copy of that.
And then participation points if you come today and Wednesday, even if you're not presenting, so that's why I'm taking the role. Did it get around to you?
No.
Oh, you want, is it? Yeah, make sure it goes down that road too. So.
I didn't do it.
Everybody.
Oh, ooh. The moves.
Yeah, they're difficult.
No, it's just. How about them Warriors?
Yeah.
You saw the game.
What is initial assessment?
Okay.
Hey guys.
All right.
Oh.
Hi. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jackson, and today I want to speak with you on the issue of shark finning and how sharks are being overfished on a global scale, the effect this is having on our oceans, and what can be done to help the problem. So why exactly are sharks being finned on a global scale? The main reason their fins are being collected is for shark fin soup. Shark fin soup, for those of you who don't know, is a delicacy or ceremonial dish in many Asian countries, such as China, especially in China, and it's also spread to other parts of the world, including San Francisco Bay Area. Shark finning is the process of taking a shark up onto a fisherman's boat and hacking its fins off with a knife and then putting the shark back into the water. I have a video to kind of demonstrate this, but before I start that, there is very graphic footage in this, so if you don't want to see this, please look away. There's no audio, that's
Do it over
oh, there
board.
is audio.
And we were just shocked. Can you believe what we just saw? And that's
There's
what
a-
two and two together. If we really want to make the fishery more sustainable
So, morning. Sorry.
and stop killing all the turtles, we need to get rid of the shark finning, because that's the reason all these Taiwanese fleets are in
So
the
they
Eastern
take-
Pacific.
they
They're
knife
getting
off the
killer
shark's
sharks with their
fins, they don't
fins,
kill it.
and while they're at it, they kill
And then the
sea
shark is
turtles
thrown back
as an
into the
incidental
ocean to
catch.
die.
We showed this video on Costa Rican TV in 2001.
Kind of graphic. So, this is an aerial image of a fishing depository where fishermen have put out the fins they've collected in the sun to dry out before they send them off to be sold. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit more to get to the caption I had. A little bit more. And a little bit more. So there's a lot. According to National Geographic, over 100 million sharks are killed every year. And shark finning, as you can see, is incredibly lucrative. 1 kilogram of shark fins, or 2.2 pounds, can go on the market for $650. A single whale shark fin can go for $20,000, and a single basking shark pectoral fin, $50,000. So you can see why these people are trying to kill as many as they can. But who cares, right? Who cares if we lose the sharks? They're just horrible man-eaters. That's what our culture is telling us, based on movies such as 12 Day Terror, Shark Swarm, Shark Attack, The Jaws of Death, Raging Sharks, Bait, Spring Break Shark Attack, Shark, Malibu Shark Attack, and many, many more. Not to mention the infamous Jaws series and all of its sequels. And sharks are human killers, right? Well, not necessarily. It turns out, once again, according to National Geographic, that sharks only kill an average of 5 people annually. And that's most commonly because they confuse them for other marine life, such as seals and sea lions, or just because they're overly curious. Only 12 of the over 300 known shark species are actually involved in human-related incidents. But the sharks should be able to reproduce, right? Even if we kill them, they'll just bound back like every other species that we harm. Not at this rate. The average gestation period of a shark is 13 months, or a little over a year. And in that gestation period, the shark produces a litter of anywhere from 2 to 20 pumps. To compare that to your average fish, the Pacific halibut lays anywhere from 500,000 to 4 million eggs a year, and those eggs, if fertilized, hatch in only 15 days. So the shark finning is not sustainable. But even then, whatever. Well, turns out sharks are a keystone species. If you don't know what a keystone species is, it's the species which, if removed from the environment, will have a drastic impact on its surroundings and the entire ecosystem. So, this block is the keystone species of that tower. It was the only thing standing in between that tower and entire desolation. Because the oceans are such a vast and incredibly complex ecosystem, we don't know the exact impacts of the loss of sharks or what those would be. But we can theorize what they could be through other examples of keystone species loss, such as the recent loss of the wolves in Yellowstone National Park. A couple decades back, the farmers around the area of Yellowstone were concerned about livestock loss because of wolves. So wolves were hunted and forced out of the area. Well, because of that, elk populations in the area skyrocketed. And when elk populations skyrocketed, the foliage in the area was overgrazed, and other animals lost their food sources, their habitat, and the entire area started to fall apart. Thankfully, people recognized that there was an issue and decided to reintroduce the wolves to the area. And within a couple of years, the habitat rebounded. These are before and after shots of foliage before and after wolves were reintroduced to the area. So what can be done? How can we prevent these sharks from being killed? Well, there is legislation in place. In 51 countries and provinces around the world, shark finning is either fully or partially banned. And in California specifically, there's a $1,000 fine, and you can receive up to 6 months in prison for possessing or owning shark fins. But the legislation isn't enough. Finning is going to continue to happen as long as it's profitable, and as long as there's a demand for shark fin soup. This is where the artists come in. Artists such as individual multimedia artist Dan Brown, who has produced a couple of advertisements of sorts for activist organizations such as StopSharkFinning.net to try to draw people's attention to the issue. He's also done parodies such as this one, where he's mocking the rather famous Jaws video. There are other artists such as British performance artist Alice Newstead. Before I show you the images of her works, I do want to tell you that this is graphic because what she has done is she's a performance artist, so she is part of her art. She has dressed herself up mostly as a shark and then had herself hung from hooks that are embedded in her flesh and then had that display put around various areas in like China, San Francisco, and other parts of the world. So this is her on display. And this is the most notable work that she has done according to the research that I was able to do. This is the only thing about her, actually, that I was able to find on the internet. It drew that much attention. There are other organizations that are also trying to stop shark finning, such as the International Fund for Animal Welfare. They conducted an advertisement campaign in China where they had coffins constructed that had fins on them to show the Chinese people that there is an issue with how much shark fin soup is being consumed. And I was able to find a couple of different children's art competitions online that are being put on to try to inspire our new generations to care about the oceans and care about sharks. So these are a couple of the winners of this specific art competition. If you can't see, right here you have two people that are preventing a person from eating a shark fin and cutting their chopsticks. Here there's a girl re-sewing fins onto sharks as they come by. And then the third one looks just to be kind of an interpretive view of the diversity of the ocean. almost done. So there are actually 35 restaurants in California alone that are known to sell shark fin soup, according to the research that I've done. One of them is only 6 minutes away from Anza, just down the street. The
I've been there, man.
Dynasty Chinese seafood restaurant.
Oh my god, I've been there.
So the artists are doing their part to try to sway public opinion in order to keep people from devastating our oceans. And they're not the only people who have the ability to change the impact of this. You can also help. You can avoid that restaurant that I just mentioned, the Dynasty Seafood Shop, but you can also go on to just do a Google search online, or go to this website here, AWAI Online, and find lists of restaurants all over the world and all over the nation that serve shark fin soup, and just avoid them. And make sure that there isn't a demand for this, because it's going to have a horrible, horrible impact on our world if we don't change the demand for it quickly. So thank you for your time. Yeah?
I have something to add. I went and saw like a shark presentation, and they said that a huge reason why they're feeding, like shark attacks are happening more often now is because of the climate change, and their paths, like their normal routes, are all screwed up, so they're not going as far out into the ocean, so they're going straight to the bay and straight to other places. And so that has like a huge effect on,
I hadn't heard about that.
yeah, Monterey Bay Aquarium.